favorite, or not our favorite players, but who we would most likely want to be. Now, if a little side subject here, throwing a little curveball to y'all, who
I love
would be
fun.
one player that you would not want to be? Who do you think is like one of the most hated superstars of the sport ever? Now, the PTSD, this is your floor. We don't know as much as you about this topic that I just threw a curveball to us, but
Oh,
who do you think is the most hated superstar to ever grace the MLB?
ooh, does he have to be a superstar?
It
Because
doesn't
I,
have
I
to.
got to be technical here. This really could go all over.
Okay. Could be anybody. Could be just a regular player. Could be a star.
I mean, shoeless Joe Jackson. The oh man. Wow. Yeah. This is a curveball. I didn't do any research on this. Uh,
Any
I'm trying
players
to I'm
from your
trying to prevent
rival?
myself from going dislike into the facts. Uh, okay, no one's gonna like this. You might get negative reviews on this, but I don't want to be Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
I don't. Whether it's true or false, whether he did the steroids or you didn't, whether you believe in the Easter Bunny or you don't, it's what is online nowadays, and
Yeah.
the internet is eating this up. It's gonna have there is an asterisk next to almost every stat
Mhm.
Barry Bonds has just because certain factions and certain health clubs say he did it. Whether it's true or not, we're never going to know. The Lord above knows, we don't.
That's the truth.
Um, you honestly go to bed with just a heavy burden on your shoulders, thinking, "What do I do?"
Mhm.
It's obvious. Pete bet. Okay, there's proof on that. There is not 100% proof that Barry Bonds did the juice.
Mm.
I love the posters of one fan, multiple fans, I think, um, holding it up high saying, "Babe Ruth did it on beer and hot dogs."
Yeah.
I don't want to be Barry Bonds. That's my answer.
Mm. That's a great pick. I mean, I would agree with that statement, obviously so, because you don't want to be surrounded with that uh, stereotype, or even if it's a true narrative down the road and they find out that he actually did do it, there you go. So, the Barry Bonds, people argue, I mean, one of the best to hit the baseball ever. But then you got to consider the juicing aspect. Like, when did he do it? Did he ever do it? So, a lot of controversy. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. So, if you could have one of your current favorite young players in MLB, choose between any young player that's been killing it, who would it be? Favorite current young star of the sport? I guess I could give mine real quick. I'll do it real quick. Um, so, Ellie De La Cruz, phenomenal player. A little inconsistent. I know PTSD would probably back me up on that. However, stealing bases, there's not a whole lot of people better than him. If he can get his batting percentage up, absolutely, that would be phenomenal. But truly one of the best young players in the sport right now.
So I'm probably going to take Paul Skin. I always mess his last name up because I'm not good with names. But the Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher we were talking about earlier, Paul. I really enjoy. I'm a big pitcher fan. Like pitching is to me, I love pitching. A guy that gets a shutout to me is better than a guy that knocks out 100 balls in the stands a year.
Mm.
Like it's just it. I don't know why. My grandpa pitched. Maybe that's part of it.
Mhm.
But I think pitching and the science to it that you have to do the curveball, the drop, like it just to me that is and I think there's nothing harder in sports than hitting a baseball. I think hitting a baseball is harder than anything else to do. Being able to hit it's crazy, but to be able to change the direction of the ball as it's being thrown is something that's always blown my mind. And these guys, we got guys throwing 90s, 95, 100, 105 ball like fastballs now, which is like you blink and you miss it.
That's so true. I
I'll
mean, just
never
the
forget
creativity.
Tim Wakefield's capability with that knuckleball. I
Mm.
mean, my jaw hits the ground every time I watch the guy on the mound for Boston. How in the world does that ball go in that kind of motion? I completely concur with your assessment on that. Um, my young star center fielder Phillies, Johan Rojas. Whew, I can't wait for 5 years from now to see what kind of all-star he's going to turn out to be. He's not known for his power at his bat, but flashing the leather on the field.
Mm.
Guys, click on Johan Rojas highlights. You'll probably get a good half hour of nothing but headfirst dives, sensational job taking balls off the wall. But he also flashes like lightning on the bases as well, much like your Ellie De La Cruz. This 24-year-old will improve with more at bats and support from his veterans in the clubhouse. That's exactly a great teamwork mentality right there. If you know your time is coming and you're on the chopping block, if you will, either getting cut or sent down to the minors because of your age or a lack of performance, help the younger crowd and help Johan. He's going to be a Philadelphia sensation.
Absolutely. Love the breakdown there, my friend. And ultimately, we'll have to wait and see what his career really pans out to be. Like you said, we'll see if he's a multi all-star level player. Definitely capable of doing that. So we'll have to move on to the next topic at hand, guys. Which team has the most pressure on themselves to win a World Series this season?
I'm going with the Mets personally.
Mm.
I mean, the Mets have a lot of pressure, and I feel like that's they got Juan Soto on a massive contract. I mean, and that's so you're already trying to like get some great guys in there. They've got a great pitching staff. Expectations have to be high. I mean, it has to be. Failing to get the World Series could lead to scrutiny, especially after their near miss in 2024. And to me, the Mets are the most. The Dodgers won last year. People could say, "Oh, the Dodgers put all this money into the team. They should be winning multiple World Series." But right now, I mean, they got the job done. So I'm going with the Mets.
I like the pick. That's a great breakdown.
Guys, I'm getting a headache. I might have to take some migraine medicine hearing Mets. Being a Phillies fan, guys, that's like talking about the Dallas Cowboys right now. Let me thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone on that. Let's direct the attention to, the Philadelphia Phillies, my hometown. How the Mets absolutely embarrassed, outplayed Philadelphia. Just wiped the floor with them at Citizens Bank Park, Phillies home crowd, getting trampled in front of your home stadium, for crying out loud. That's like kicking your dog. You can't have it happen. Philadelphia has a lot riding on this. True, there are no multi-million-dollar contracts like New York, both New Yorks actually, and the Dodgers. Still, it's the matter of pride. Do it for Philly. Do it for Rocky Balboa. Do it for yourself and for the city. Go Philly. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's two great, phenomenal picks there. They make a lot of sense. But my pick is the Minnesota No, I'm playing. Not the Twins. Not the Twins. It is the New York Yankees. Obviously so. They get so close. They make it to the World Series, and they lose ultimately to the Dodgers. Wasn't much of a series, if we're being honest. They got outplayed in every regard, but ultimately you got Aaron Judge, who going toe-to-toe with being the face of the league for the future with Shohei, and they got some big contracts on that team. If they do not perform, it will be heavy scrutiny on that ball club for years down the road. So if they don't win a title within the next couple of years, they're going to be facing a lot of, like I mentioned, public scrutiny and honestly facing some backlash of why do you get these big name guys every year and fail to meet your mark, fail to reach the World Series, fail to win a World Series. But we'll have to wait and see what the Yankees can do. I think they have the most pressure on themselves.
You speak of the superstars. Superstars are much like Allen Iverson in 2001 in the NBA. You got the guns. You got Chris Webber, Allen Iverson in 2001 NBA. I know I'm going out of the fruit basket onto the kitchen table. There's AI right there. I didn't wear my AI jersey. I got my Phillies jersey on for obvious reason. But I'm speaking on behalf of what you're saying with the All-Stars. It's teamwork. This isn't this isn't chess. This
Yep.
is a teamwork aspect where one person has to pick each other up, teach each other stuff that you don't know. You don't blend, it's going to turn out to be a disgusting cake. You don't put the ingredients in together, it's going to be rancid.
Absolutely. Chemistry is the biggest just sign of success for a ball club. If you don't have it, if they don't have that locker room really gelling within each other, it ain't going to happen. There's not going to be any sort of postseason success. But,
Tell me
all right,
about
guys.
that bobblehead.
Oh, my so little side note here. Allen Iverson's my favorite player of all time. He's the reason I like basketball. I'm not a Sixers fan, but he's my favorite player to ever touch the court. Like him and NBA Street the video game was the reason I got into basketball.
All right, guys. So, moving on. Which team has the best chance to make a resilient run like the Detroit Tigers did in the playoffs last year for this upcoming season? I know it's way too early to really predict and kind of see what these teams are made of, but this is a little spring training prediction time.
So I think a team to look out for are the Kansas City Royals. I think they have the best chance to probably replicate what Detroit did last year. They have a very young core, including Bobby Witt Jr., a solid pitching rotation, proven postseason experience from 2024. I think they could be a really big underdog to make a deep playoff push this season.
That's a great pick. I'm going to save all of our answers and see which one is the closest, which one actually is right about this. But PTSD, what is your pick? I know the Detroit Tigers aren't your most fond team.
Again, we're going to go down facts or honesty. Okay, I'm going to backtrack a bit before we even go into this here. Let's remember, guys, there are unknowns in the minor leagues currently playing in spring training right now. They can turn heads, therefore possibly turning around franchises like Seattle, who hasn't seen the light of day in tick, tick, tick. Exactly. I'm a Philadelphia guy. I'm not going to talk about the Phillies here. I want to see an underdog story. I want to Seattle move. I want to see them get the grace they deserve. We're going to see the true fans of Seattle come out of the woodwork and go nuts. That's what I'm hoping for. And if MLB wants it bad enough, they're going to make it happen.
Absolutely, that's true. And they've got a lot of loyal fans over the years. We'll have to wait and see if it pays off for them. I think would be the craziest story of this entire season if somehow the Chicago White Sox was to make the playoffs.
Weren't they at the dumpster?
Oh, yeah.
I thought so.
Yep. But no, that is not my pick. That is not my pick. I feel like that'd be a foolish answer. My pick is ultimately somebody that we mentioned to earlier, Mike Trout's team. I believe the Angels have a chance to become the Tigers of this year. Not make it to the title, not make it even to the game before the title, but I think they could win a series, maybe 2 series in the playoffs if they get that far. If they get some young, really young farm talent, bring them up, develop them guys, and surround them with great coaching, I think they could possibly make a run down the stretch.
Nothing beats true, genuine leather, man. Oh, guys, it's baseball season. Let's go. Am I the only one that brings a glove to the stadium? It's nostalgic, isn't it? You got to
Absolutely
bring
is.
it to the game.
That's true. And you got to enjoy the passion, enthusiasm from baseball, just enthusiasts in general. So the season is coming, guys. It's going to be here extremely soon. Are you guys looking forward to it?
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
know down below.
And also, before we disconnect here, NCAA college baseball started off about a week or 2 ago.
Oh, did it?
I live 5 minutes away from High Point University. High Point University is currently 5-0, undefeated in the Big South tournament conference. Excuse
Awesome.
me, Big South Conference.
Hopefully
That's
they
awesome.
can keep it up for the rest of the season. But, well, guys, that wraps up our baseball segment with PTSD play-by-play. It's been a pleasure, my friend. Go out and check his channel. He's got YouTube, he's got TikTok. He'll give you any sort of live analysis breakdown. Uh, he's just the greatest guy, great friend, and we look forward to having him on the show in the near future again.
If anyone wants me to hear, hello, let's retract that. If any of you want to hear special teams, like we got a Devil Ray fan in the house, you guys want me to do live play-by-play on that, I will be honored to. Just get a hold of me, write a comment in one of my videos. It'll be my honor.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Hope you all have enjoyed this show. We'll see you later.
God
We
bless
out.
America.
God bless America. Woo!